am a publisher, and one day my daughter Christina asked me to write a novel with her. Well, that day was long ago, and that little girl is now an adult. But our novels live on. The Truth Seekers Mystery Series highlights a homeschool family, the Murphy teens, in an action-adventure novel that is sure to entertain as well as teach creation truths. To get your copy, visit our website at truthseekersmysteryseries.com.
This is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network. Welcome to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Your host, Felice Gerwitz, is an author, a publisher, and your radio show host. She will encourage, educate, and inspire you with answers to your most pressing questions from homeschool, marriage, parenting, and much more. Felice loves to equip moms to live a Christian life because every moment counts. Be sure to visit her website at mediaangels.com. And here's your host, Felice Gerwitz.
Hey everyone, this is episode 418, and today we are going to talk about joyful kids. Yes, this means you. This is an episode just for kids. You can bring your parents along, or parents, if you're listening, you may want to have your kids listen in because I think that being joyful is something that each one of us can do. And yes, it may take a little bit of work, but this is something really special that can really change your lives. You can find the show notes for today's episode at vintagehomeschoolmoms.com. Look for episode 418. Well, some people you know may be naturally happy, and this may or may not be you. Wouldn't it be nice if people thought of you as a happy person? Do you know any people that are happy or seem like they're happy all the time? What makes them happy? And this is something we're going to be talking about. But first, I want to remind you to check out mediaangels.com and the books, the Truth Seekers Mystery Series, which are a great series of novels for kids to read, and families can read it to their kids as well. And the book, A Few Minutes with God. And you can find these things at the mediaangels.com/books website. Well, let's think about some things that make you happy. I've got 5 things listed here. See if any of these things are things that you think would give you joy or make you think that, gosh, yeah, I'd be happy if that happened. The first is you get something you want. The second is you get your own way. The third is you get to have something special, some kind of food you like to eat. The fourth is you don't have to do schoolwork or homework. And the fifth is you get to do a hobby or something fun that you like to do. I'm sure you can add to this list, but this is enough to get you started. I want you to look at those 5 things, and if you notice, all of these things have to do about you. What's in it for me is a pretty selfish way to live your life, and that is why people are so miserable and not joyful. Let's think about this. When things are all about you and not about others, it's difficult to find joy in your life because we always find something wrong, something we didn't get, or something that's not fair, or we didn't get our turn, or somebody didn't do something we wanted them to do. And that is the problem. What are some of the things that make you joyful? Or another word for joy can be happy. But joy, I believe, is a deeper sense of happiness, and here's why. Did you know joy is a choice? You can either decide you want to be joyful or not. You can say, wow, today I don't want to be upset or mad, and I'm going to choose to be joyful. Does that work? You may think no, but it does. You can choose to be miserable or joyful. It is as easy as that, and I'm going to show you what I mean. First, if you have a joyful planner, that will help. It is freely available in the month of December. If your parents are on our mailing list, they can get it, and if not, they can go to the mediaangels.com website. But here are some things that are going to help you. And this is what I'm talking about. Choosing joy. You're choosing to do these things. The first is when you wake up, you decide to smile. Yep, it's that easy. Put a smile on your face. Maybe you don't smile often, so you might want to practice this in front of a mirror. You don't want to scare people in your family by showing your teeth without a grin. In fact, it might be scary instead of being a happy smile. So practice this. And when you leave your room in the morning, you smile at the people you see. You don't have to say anything, you just smile. And then what will happen? They'll probably smile back. Or they might say, "Are you okay?" And you'll just say, "Yes, I'm choosing joy." Can you do this? I think you can. The second thing is say something nice to others. Maybe you don't know what to say, so practice. You can say, "Gosh, your hair looks nice," or "Can I help you with something today?" This might be dangerous if your mom or dad's eating something. It might cause them to choke, and especially if you don't normally say that. So be sure they're not eating or drinking anything before you say, "Do you need any help?" Okay? Because we don't want your parents choking. Yes, I'm kidding, but sometimes there's a little bit truth when we kid, isn't there? Think about this. How can you say something nice to someone else? It can be a compliment or it can be an offer to help. Number 3, help without being asked. Would you believe this will bring joy to your life? Just doing something kind for someone else is payment enough. If you can do it without expecting something in return, this is even better. Have you ever heard of Mother Teresa? If you have not, ask your parents to help you look this up. Mother Teresa was a lady who came from a fairly wealthy family, and her mother used to ask people in that were poor and didn't have enough food to eat with their family. That was the example she saw growing up. She became a nun and also worked with the poor. She started an order of nuns that were called the Sisters of Charity. She did a lot of her work in India with the poorest of the poor. And she was an example of what it meant to give without expecting anything back. She would take those who were dying off the side of the street and give them a decent death. In other words, she was with them when they were dying instead of them being alone and abandoned. This is something that brought joy not only to her, but to others as well. I'm not asking you to do anything that's that heroic, but you can do something simple, like asking your parents if you can help or putting a smile on your face. And if you look at those 3 things I talked about, and what were they? Putting a smile on your face, saying something kind, helping without being asked to help. They were all about others, right? These are things that will bring other people joy. People who give of their time and talents are much more joyful than those who are selfish. This is true, and I'm sure there's a statistic out there somewhere. But truthfully, if you get in the habit of smiling to those in your family, they won't be able to help but smile back. This is just the beginning of deciding that you will be happy and find something each and every day to be thankful for. Each day you can find something, some little thing to be thankful about. Look at your family and start there. Some people do not have families. Some people have even less than you do. Yes, somewhere in the world this is true. The most important things in your life are free. The air we breathe, the joy that brings someone else by just giving them a smile. And these are things you can do starting today. What else can you add to this list on being joyful and choosing joy each day? Are there joyful kids in your home? I am sure you will be a trend starter. If you start this today, you will find that other people in your family will also choose joy. And I pray that this happens in your own life. And believe me, it will be the best present you can ever give your parents. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Homeschool Mom Show. Visit Felice at MediaAngels.com and TheVintageHomeschoolMoms.com. Vintage Homeschool Moms is a production of the Ultimate Homeschool Radio Network.